Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to our channel. I know I promised that I would do a home tour this week, but I'm having a little problem with my digital camera. For some reason, the SD card is not compatible for my laptop. For some reason, it's not recognizing it, and I don't understand why. So I got to figure that out. And I'm definitely going to need a better microphone because this one, for some reason, is not working very well when I do these. So, got to find one of those clip-on microphones that I can carry around with me and you can always hear my voice. So, I got to find one of those. It's just stuff to make my home videos a lot better. Eventually, I'll get, because I don't want to just keep posting videos with me constantly sitting on the couch. I want to be able to post videos with us actually doing things, up around the house like most home vloggers do. It's just that I don't have the proper equipment yet to do so. I will not be accepting donations because how do I put this? I'm one of those types of people that likes to earn things on my own. I'm not very dependent. I don't like being very dependent on other people. I can't stand it. It's one of my pet peeves. I look at it as I need to learn how to be able to do certain things on my own. And my grandmother is always saying, the one that's sick, she's always saying there's no harm in asking for help because we should always help each other out. And those that can help and are able to help will help. But that's just not how I am. Eventually, maybe I will do maybe a live stream where you can just hang out with me and Alex for a little bit. You can talk to us, you can ask us questions, that kind of thing. I thought about doing stuff like that. Pretty much this is new to me, so I'm trying to get ideas. I'm trying to get a schedule set in place for my blog. So like say for Mondays, I will do that something, and Tuesday I do the same thing. Wednesday I can do live streams. You know, I can go over school. So I'm not always constantly talking about the school stuff, but my strength really is finding educational things to do with my son. I mean, I haven't that is definitely a strength. And some parents can benefit from those tips and videos, especially in today's times where we have to homeschool our children. I mean, some parents out there, no offense to them, just don't know how to teach. If they're one of the types that struggled through school, possibly didn't finish school, if they had any kind of, disabilities, they won't be able to teach. And sometimes a visual is helpful. I mean, I don't have a license. I am not a certified teacher. I have thought about going back to school to be a preschool teacher, but I'm not liking the dollar zeros that, the dollar sign that involves with going back to school. That is another thing that really upset me because our government here in the United States is always pushing and pushing for us to go to school. Now, I'm not talking about high school, though that kind of school. I'm talking about college. They push for us to go back to school, but they make it so expensive that we can't go. And those that of us that are able to go, we're usually in debt for a majority of our lives. I mean, I did go to school for medical, but it really wasn't for me. Not really. I was doing it because people were getting in my head. It's like, oh, this is where the money is at. This is where the money at. But I realized that if I'm going to be doing something for the rest of my life, I don't want to do it for money. I wanted to, well, yeah, money's going to take a big part in it. I want to be able to financially support my household, but it's got to be something that I'm going to enjoy doing. I'm not going to want to go to work every day and be like, oh, I don't like this job. I hate this job. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be that kind of person. I want to be at some place that I enjoy doing. You know, I do enjoy working for food service. I enjoy working with children. I enjoy being around people and building a relationship with people at my job. I really don't like seeing people when they're sick and when they're at their lowest point in the world. That is just not for me. So that's when I said no, not doing the medical. But the thing of it is, I was still early. I was young. I was still early into going to school. So what I was doing was pretty much my pre-classes before really getting into my major stuff. I could have easily have just gone to my counselor and just done a switch for a major switch. That's all I could have done. That's all I had to do because I wasn't even into my classes yet that involved my major. But it's too late now. I mean, obviously it's never too late to do anything, but I'm 33 years old. By the time I got my bachelor's degree, I'd be almost pushing 40. So, in my opinion, I think it's a little too late. Also, I just spent the last 8 years getting out of debt, and I'm finally debt free. No more debt. I don't want to go back to being in debt. And that's a lot of the problems that we're faced with. We want to go to school. We do. It's not that we don't. Cut the prices back, make it a little cheaper. I mean, I don't understand why college has to be so expensive to begin with. That's my personal opinion. I don't understand it. I mean, the people's taxes pay for the school stuff, the younger kids' school stuff here. So that's not technically free. Education is never free. But you can't really tax for I don't understand it. I don't think they do tax for college. I mean, I think it would be pretty bad if they ever did. But I just don't understand. I don't really think college needs to be that expensive. I mean, I know they have to be able to, you know, pay for the bills to keep the buildings running. They got to be able to pay their staff, which is a lot of staff. They offer lots of different classes, lots of different majors. They got to be able to pay for that. But I still don't understand why it needs to be so expensive. You know, it's pathetic. I could probably get a college education just by watching YouTube videos. But it doesn't count unless you got the paper degree. I mean, who says you need to have a degree to be able to teach? It's silly or to do anything. I mean, there should be a test prior to you taking the job. And if you're able to pass that test, you should be able to do what it is you want to do. I think college degrees are overrated. I think they're unnecessary because a lot of people don't have the means to acquire one. I'm talking about money. If you don't have money, you're not getting a degree. You don't got degrees, you're not going to do good in life. Who says? Who says you need to have a degree to become a teacher or a lawyer or a doctor? Okay, as long as you know what you're doing. Well, the doctor one I can understand because if you make a mistake, you can end somebody's life. That I can understand, but certain things like being a teacher or okay, if you're going into like the emergency fields, like if you're going to be a police officer or doctor, nurse, any of that kind of stuff, I can understand you need to have a license and a degree for that because you need to make sure you are top notch doing what you're doing because the slightest mistake you do can cost someone their life. But I don't see it for like being a mechanic or a teacher or that kind of stuff because it's not, I mean, if you know what you're doing, I mean, you can, it's not hard. It's not hard to teach. They give the curriculum for what the kids need to know, and all you got to do is just make sure you know what you're going to be teaching. I mean, if you're smart enough to say, hey, I can do it, then you can do it. But I guess they can understand why they may want you to have a degree because they want to make sure you know the proper way to handle things, the correct way, the going by the book way. Well, here's a little hint for all of you. Life doesn't come with a book. Life doesn't come with a set of instructions. We all live and learn as we go, you know? Alrighty, well that being said, we got to go. I got to feed him lunch. We haven't had lunch yet. We're gonna have sandwiches today. And then I got to get my kitchen cleaned up. Need to get my living room cleaned up. The clutter is driving me bonkers. Being a homeschool parent teacher, I guess you could call it, excuse me, is making my house messy, especially the downstairs. We just cleaned up his toy room. That finally just got cleaned. Excuse me, cleaned up. I think I might have the hiccups this time. But alrighty, with that being said, we are gonna go. So see you next time. Hopefully, eventually, when my husband comes home today, I'm gonna talk to him about finding about a decent camera and a microphone so I can do that kind of stuff because he knows more about the tech. He calls me the tech head, like because well, I know how to set up the technology, but when it comes to knowing what technology to use for certain things, he's the one I go to. But to me, it's like, how do you hook this? For him, it's like, how do you hook this up? How do you make this work? How do you make that work? That I know that is my specialty. But alrighty, you guys enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and those of you who are COD fans in the world, stay tuned for the review 6:30 UK time for the COD review. I believe it should be. I was told that it should be in the game. Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. 1:30 Eastern time on the United States, and you could probably figure out your time zones from there. But alrighty. Bye. Bye.